Welcome back, everyone. So here we are again, tackling the wire harness some more on this 454. If you're new to the channel, there's some older videos, and there's going to be some more future videos. So yeah, if you like it, subscribe, and if you want to see more, stick around, and give me some thumbs up if you like the content. It super helps out the channel, and yeah. Let's get to it. So what I like to do is find the wiring diagrams and then review them, get familiar with everything, look at the main components that make this bike run electrically, and yeah. Once I feel familiar with them, I'll look at the common grounds on the bike and the common hot sources. So like, for instance, if you look at the battery, so your ground is yellow and black. We got a fusible link going from the positive, but this looks like an input. And then we got the main out going to the starter relay, the switch wires, and then also going to the starter motor, and then the starter motor being grounded, which is that symbol there, which is the same symbol here and here, being grounded to the frame or the motor. So, and this frame maybe one's motor. We'll get to that. So I'll look at those, I'll get familiar. So the main common ground that we're going to see for this wiring harness is going to be yellow and black. So that's great. We have a positive here of white with a link. So I'm thinking this is power being fed into the battery, and if it sees an overcharge, it'll blow the fuse and prevent it from blowing up the battery, which is good. So this probably runs all the way to rectifier regulator right here with this white. If I scroll up a little bit and you follow this up and around, sure enough, it attaches here. And it looks like it branches from here, from white into red-white. So, rectifier with regulator. It's actually called regulator rectifier, but these wiring diagrams aren't always super matching exactly what's stamped onto the device. So, sometimes they'll flip-flop words around and stuff. I don't know. Kawasaki's just weird like that, I guess. So then, yeah, we got our pickup coil, probably points, and sends that to an igniter box, and then branches out into our coils. So that's great. Man, it's really blurry and hard to see what these colors are, but I'll show you on the bike what's going on with that. Yeah. Start circuit relay, turn signal relay, rear brake lights, fuse box, which for some reason my bike doesn't have a fuse box. I don't know what the previous owner did, but the wiring has been a nightmare. I say has been because I've already started to dissect it. And I started to simplify a lot of the stuff in order to keep kind of the fast pace going for this video, rather than taking so much time. I did a little bit of pre-work, started simplifying the wire harness, and yeah, I'll show you where I'm at with that and what I'm doing next. And yeah, just keep plugging away. So this is a great reference. I like to review them ahead of time, get familiar with them, especially with all the different components going on. So yeah, let's go look at the bike. So this was way worse. It was kind of like this spaghetti that's going on, but throughout this whole thing, and they were everywhere. So I'll show you what I did, where I'm at so far. Some coffee, keep me going. It's a little bit later in the afternoon. So I normally like to start at the battery and work my way all the way back and up into the cluster, into the main cluster. So I could pull this loom off. I'm not 100%, nothing's set in stone yet with this wiring harness, because I know I'm not going to like some of these locations of some of these items. But so here's that fusible link. Calls for a 20 amp. The previous owner's got 15 amp in here, so I'll be changing that out. We got fusible link, which will go to positive. We got our negative for now. I just kind of strapped this together just for now. But so I got a ground to the frame going to the negative, and then we got some other grounds, some extra spare grounds, and our fusible link, which is positive. So then trailing back some more, we got it's either a relay or a flasher or something. I'm not sure yet. I haven't really looked at it too much. And then turn signal operating unit, self-canceling it says, but I don't know. So there's that. This goes to the starter solenoid. So we got that. And I'll just throw it down there. So here's the blinkers for the back. Here's the, I want to say, license plate lights, running lights. Here's the relay for the blinkers. And then main harness coming back. I have these folded over the frame right now. So here's our regulator rectifier. So we got 3 yellow wires, black wire, white wire, brown wire. So the black wire turns into black and yellow, which is what we know is our common ground on this bike. And then we got these 3 yellow, which runs to the stator cover. And yeah, there's where it pretty much creates AC voltage, and then it runs into here, into this box, converts it to DC voltage, but also reduces it to 12 volts. So that's what this does. So stator, AC voltage, regulator rectifier regulates the voltage, also converts it to DC 12 volts. So simplified that for you guys. Then we got brown wire, white wire, and then common ground. So common ground snakes into a mess of more common grounds. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So we got brown wire, which runs up into the main harness here, which is a, what is it? It's a common positive for, I want to say it was blinkers and light bulbs and stuff. So, and then we got the white wire, which we already know sends power all the way back to the battery, and that's the fusible link that's back there. So that's what that is, which also branches up into our ignition, into the cluster. So yeah. All right, so those same 2 wires that I pulled out down here, which is gray and green, or gray and dark green, is also up here, gray and dark green. So this is the rear blinkers, this is for the front blinkers, and there's also another spider in here that snakes back into here for the lights, for the blinkers, left and right, of course. And then the hand controls, which are down here. So then we got our hand control. So left and right. So the actual physical mechanical switch, which runs through this harness, these two plugs, blah, 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 all the way through. There was all this extra wiring that's down here attached to the bike that I removed. There's not really too much. Whoa. There's not really too much to go through and talk about for what I removed, other than maybe I can touch off on some of this other stuff. So the previous owner wired up some speaker wire to 2 relays for his blinkers, which you don't need, and they were just these little dinky blinkers. I say little dinky, and I'm putting even smaller ones on the bike. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using this in the future here, but there's a reserve lighting device. That doesn't really tell me much. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of research and figure out what this reserve lighting device is. But when I fed it through the whole wire harness, it pretty much attached to 2 of these red connectors, one in the front cluster and one this end all the way, oh no, this end all the way in the back of the bike. So pretty much they just looped around and just a bunch of extra wires and shit, which I'm guessing is just accessory lighting. If you want more parking lights, maybe Canada versus America, there was different options for lights. I don't know, but anyway, took it all out. Here we are. So we talked about regulator rectifier, so you guys are familiar with that. Next, I'm going to talk about the coils. So igniter box, right? IC igniter. We got the igniter box, which also gets power from the points and everything. It tells the coils when to fire, and then it runs it through this little computer box, and then it spits it out into the coils. So that's pretty much what we got here. I super simplified. I had to redo one of the wires. I got new bullet connectors, so I had to do that for a couple things. So yeah, igniter box, power source to it, common ground, which is black and yellow, and then we got left and right coils. So 2-cylinder. So that's that. So now that we talked about that, I'll move that out of the way. So yeah, this bike has coolant temp sensor down here, which I have wired up for now. Neutral safety switch. And then I forgot what this is. I forgot. And then we got, what else? So this is the foot control brake light. And then we got an upper temperature sensor that goes into a kind of a thermostat with a lid, which I don't have currently. That's why it's just hanging out here. But I know what that one is. It's yellow and white. What else can I talk about? So, headlight. Not really much to talk about there. Got the horn. I just got it hanging there. It's not great, but it is what it is. And then this is some previous owner work here. We got the ignition. Nothing too crazy. It does work. I've already tested it a couple times. It's a working ignition, but I'm not really a fan of this where all the wires are the same color going to different things, and then the original wire harness being color coded. Not having things color coded, you're just asking for trouble. So there's that. Yeah. So next, what am I doing? What am I doing? I was contemplating going through and converting this to a new digital one.